Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Rudy the Gamer with Sports, back at it again with another video. What's going on, Giant sports fans? Man, wanted to do a quick video on the game analysis, what I thought about the Giants yesterday. Overall, of course, we still need some work on the offensive line. Of course, if you guys were watching the game, it was a rough first half. The Giants weren't really moving the ball too well. They didn't really run the ball as much as you thought. I think the offensive line gave up like 5 sacks in the first half. It was rough. But the Giants' run pro was a lot better than the Giants' pass pro. In years past, it's been the opposite. So, I'd rather take run protection all day, run blocks, and opening up holes down on the offensive line for Saquon Barkley than anything else. Saquon Barkley looked like his old self again after a year and a half of being dealt with injury and coming back from a torn ACL and dealing with a high ankle sprain last year where he missed, a little over a quarter of the season. It was about 4 or 5 games. Saquon Barkley looked like old Saquon Barkley for 2018, 2019, man. As bad as our offensive line has been for years, that man has always been able to. His first 2 years, he produced over 1,300 yards. Produced over 1,000 yards rushing. His first year, his rookie year, he had over 1,300 yards. The second year, he just had over 1,000 because he did have I know he got hurt. I think it was like, was it a week 2 or week 3 game against Tampa Bay when we first saw Daniel Jones? He got hurt and he had an ankle injury then where it made him miss 5 weeks of the season, and he still had over 1,000 yards, but it was barely over 1,000 yards. That was Daniel Jones' first scene when he did that comeback against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we first got to see a glimpse, thinking that, oh shit, man, oh my God, Daniel Jones, we might have something here. But with going through 3 coordinators, 3 coaches, previous to Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka as the head coach, offensive coordinator. Danny Jones has been through a lot. I really haven't truly been a huge, big fan of Daniel Jones. But it's what we have, and it's what we got. And at the same time, I do kind of feel sorry for the kid. He hasn't really had a chance to flourish or be consistently in, as we've been rebuilding for the last few years, consistently with a head coach, that he can work with to build a relationship, or an offensive coordinator. So it's been rough for that young kid. But yesterday, he was still efficient. 17 of 21 with 188 yards. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Crucial interception that he threw late in the fourth quarter, man, which, at the same time, you have to figure out a way to stop there. The problem with Daniel Jones is he sometimes stared too long at a receiver that he wants to throw to. And on that play, he was staring down Saquon Barkley all the way. And, of course, he got intercepted in the end zone late in the fourth. And I'm thinking like, man, we went through all this, making a comeback. Our offense is on fire. Our defense is playing lights out, a lot better in the second half. The defense kept us in the game the whole time. When they went into halftime and it was 13-0, it felt like it was 40-0. Giants gave up a short field in the first quarter on a punt return that was like 45, 46 yards. And Tennessee Titans had, about 45 yards to score a touchdown. They were in our territory on their first possession at the 45-yard line, I think it was, and they drove right down the field and scored the first touchdown. After that, Giants were getting 3 and outs. They were getting a few first downs. They were inefficient on third downs. They were like 2 for 10. But it was rough. And regardless of how bad the offense was playing, the defense for the New York Giants kept us in the game, only held Tennessee Titans after their last few possessions in the first half to 2 more field goals. It was 13-0. So, I was skeptical. I was like, yeah, man, here we go again with the same shit, man. I kept saying, bro, just give Saquon Barkley the ball. He's finding some holes. The few opportunities that they were doing in the running game when they decided to run the football, Saquon Barkley was finding holes and he was getting those tough yards. And, people need to stop talking shit, tip-tap, toeing around the offense, try to juke left, right. He dances in the line to try to find holes. Bro, Saquon Barkley's been playing like that his whole life. And he has not been playing like that his whole life to not get drafted in the NFL. I mean, he's one of the most dominant running backs, that I've seen in college, coming out of college. And just as long as he's healthy, man, he's given the opportunity, bad offensive line or not, he's going to find holes, man. That's just, the way he plays his game. And he's a running back. Let him play the way he plays, man. He's going to find holes. You know what I'm saying? But you can see that first game of the year this year, you can see a slight difference. He's deciding to cut it in, not try to hit the home run all the time. He was patient all game and throughout the game as he was being patient, taking hits, also finding holes and doing those dirty yards of 3, 4, 5 yards. The home runs were finding. And I mean, the home runs were coming in. He had a 68-yard run, 33-yard run, especially that 33-yard run late in the fourth. The Giants were second half, man. It was all about Saquon Barkley, man. Had 164 yards rushing. He also had 5 catches, I think, for like 30 yards. Second half blew open. Us getting a turnover on the on special teams to be able to set us up for a short field. But then again, that was that turnover. But you could see that it's a different regime. You could see the coaches are different. Whether or not, as you saw on the sidelines, like they were showing, that Daniel Jones might have been getting chewed out. Who cares? Whatever the case may be. That's how you build a coach and a quarterback relationship, man. When they do good, hey, you praise them. When they do, when they get a bad play, you dig in their ass. That's just part of life, man. But that's how you build a relationship with a head coach and a quarterback, especially. Overall, offense did pretty well, a lot better in the second half. And they said some crazy stat, like it was something like 70 dropbacks or whatever the case may be, something like that on the Tennessee game. Andrew Thomas only allowed 1 pressure on his side, left tackle. Andrew Thomas is a beast, man. Hopefully the Giants keep him, man. He'll be a long-time Giant, man, because he is a great left tackle, man. That young kid has progressed throughout the last few years, man. On his 3rd season, man, he just looks phenomenal. But Giants had a comeback. Of course, you've been watching Giants games for years. It's about in 2 hands, probably about 10 times in the last 4 years. You've seen the Giants where late in the 4th they lose a lead, and they lose at the last second by either a phenomenal 62, 63-yard field goal, insane. Dreadful losses, man, where we lose right at the end of the 4th quarter, man. But Giants held it through, man. Don't know what was wrong with Tennessee Titans. I felt like the Tennessee Titans could, get a few more yards. But that 47-yarder, man, when he missed it, man, I was screaming. I mean, the Giants were looking good, man. Can't say too much on the offensive line, how they stepped up in the second half. Of course, Tennessee Titans had like 6, 7 sacks. Man, I could be wrong, but yeah, it was good to see Saquon. Saquon is back, ladies and gentlemen. Saquon is back, looking like his old self again. Daniel Jones, even though he didn't have a great game, but I think we went for 2 4th downs, and we were 2 for 2 on 4th downs, I think. You can see they used some RPOs, but man, dude, that dude was getting crushed on some of these RPO runs that he was having, because he had like 6 rushes, I think, for like 20-something yards. I forget what the stat is exactly, but man, he was getting smacked. But a crucial 4th down and 1 that we needed late in the 4th, on the bootleg to the left side of the offense, man, where he ran out for the 1st down. But it was good to see also Sterling Shepard, man. Don't forget about Sterling Shepard, man. Late in the 3rd quarter, man. The defense got caught looking, man. And Sterling Shepard creeped up on that left side, man, like a down post route. And, man, Daniel Jones gunned it down. It was like a 65-yard bomb and touchdown. It was good to see Sterling Shepard get in the mix. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I understand what what Brian Dable's saying, you know what I'm saying? Depending on the packages, on the schemes, the offense that week, certain wide receivers might be more looked at than others or might be in the mix more than others. But, man, what the fuck, bro? Kenny Golladay, 2 catches in the first half, ain't do shit in the second half. So, yeah, it was good to see the New York Giants do what they had to do and get their win. Don't care if you consider it lucky or not. Doesn't matter. If we would have lost, people would have been saying, oh, man, it's just bad luck. A win is a win, lucky or not. The Giants played their tail off, going for it in that 2-point conversion when we mixed that extra point in the third quarter. That was crucial. Going for it, 2-point conversion. It is what it is. It was good to see that. Day balls, man. Man, Brian has the balls, baby. It is what it is, man. That 2-point conversion helped us to win the game because at the end they missed the field goal. And, yeah, man, throughout the week, we'll talk about more Giants and their next opponent being the Carolina Panthers at home, season opener at home. And we'll go from there, guys. Until next time, peace.